What's the pressure?
Now down to 896.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Whether it's the wildfires we had in Los Angeles in early 2025.
Red flag warning has been issued for the Ventura, LA County mountains.
Tornadoes.
Tornado watch in red until 8. That includes Dallas-Fort Worth.
Hurricanes.
The eye stretches 433 miles.
Sustained winds, 175 miles per hour.
There's a wide range of ways that the weather can be life-threatening.
Dangerously cold air out there. Wind chills around 0 to 8 degrees.
You hear thunder, it means you can be struck.
Those rip currents and those sneaker waves, never turn your back to the ocean.
And in those moments, they're going to reach out to that broadcast meteorologist, that local meteorologist.
More of a raincoat needed today so that they can help you with the wind as well.
Who has walked them through getting to the bus stop every day, that's gotten them through the weekend forecast.
Hopefully your windshield wipers are working, because this is the view as we take a look outside.
It's in those moments when the weather is trying to kill you that those local meteorologists are not only a friendly face, but a trusted source of information.
We want to help you plan for your weekend and keep you guys safe, and you know what, have fun.
All weather is local. Whether it affects you or it doesn't, all weather is local. So the local affiliates being in those communities, they know their weather patterns, they know how different types of weather will affect the people in that area. They have that local knowledge.
NBC7 and Telemundo 20, weather coverage you count on.
We have more than 36 stations across the country, both NBC and Telemundo, and more than 120 weather professionals, anchors, meteorologists, weather producers, climate reporters that all work serving their local communities and helping us as a company to get weather information out to our audiences and across all platforms. So I will work with all of our affiliates on technology, training, graphics, and it's sharing ideas.
Here is the science behind summer solstice. This is the time of year when our
communicating science to non-expert audiences is a skill that can be taught.
So the cooler water that's deeper into the ocean upwells to the surface and then gets dragged across the surface.
It's not something that is magic. It's not something that is held by some secret, few people, but it's a really important skill for scientists to learn. That puts social pressure on everybody else. That's a really powerful thing. What else? We're in the Marine, Earth, and Atmospheric Sciences Department at North Carolina State University, where I'm an adjunct lecturer and I teach a meteorology course. The goal of the course is to teach meteorology majors how to communicate science, like meteorology, to non-expert audiences. We're teaching scientists to be able to communicate with the general public in the same way that journalists will communicate to those same audiences. And I think scientists and journalists at our heart, at our core, we're all truth seekers and truth tellers.
Both papers pointed out enhanced versus moderate are often flipped in public perception.
The hardest thing for students to overcome is their institutionalization. By the time they get into my class, they've been in the program 3, sometimes maybe 4 years. So they've had 3 or 4 years of academics talking to other academics, scientists talking to other scientists.
Good evening, my name is George Thompson, here to tell you about the weather at NC State.
It is a very different thing to take that same nugget of information and package it in a way that a room full of non-experts would be interested in.
When are those foliage numbers going to increase? When do we see those nice colors? And what would cause those colors to occur?
You can't start with all of the scientific jargon, cold fronts and upper level low pressure systems and vorticity and all of the fun words that I went to school to learn how to pronounce and learn how to explain. You gave me something that was a little weather tangential, like what is it exactly that gives us these good colors? And I think you set that up really nicely, and then you gave yourself the runway to try and answer that question. You got to start with what is it that people really need to know about that storm, explain the impacts.
This is what we call precipitable water that is in the atmosphere. We're normally expecting some rain showers, but along this, our entire part of North Carolina, we don't have a lot of water for that to be able to happen.
It's all about the power of the story. What's the point that I'm trying to make? What's the one thing that my viewers need to know? And then what other data and other imagery can I bring to bear to make that point? Before you do anything else, you have to know your audience. Who are you talking to? What is it that they need to know? and then packaging the information in a way that's relevant to them. Do you need an umbrella? Do you need a jacket at the bus stop? Is today going to be a day where the weather changes dramatically, or is it going to be sort of a ho-hum day?
Sometimes we may think of communication as like this one-way channel, but then there's like different people, there's like different audiences.
I think the most challenging part has been learning how to use a green screen.
It's really important to learn how to communicate it to everyone so everyone can know what weather is going to affect them and how to empower them to make decisions that will foster their safety.
We got into science because we're passionate about it, and we want to share that passion with audiences. The problem is we have to lead with the passion, but also lead with the impact. What is it that that audience needs and wants from me? And then if we get them connected to that, they may be interested in some of the other geeky stuff that we're interested in behind the curtain.
This is the sleet accumulation that's on the ground above of that fluffy snow.
And we're going to focus today on weather words, the adjectives that we as meteorologists use to describe the weather.
We find that audiences really care about the weather when it's presented in an engaging and interesting way. A lot of times you'll hear, take me there, make me care. I think it's backwards. We have to make them care first, and then we can take them there.
Something else going on, a geomagnetic storm, so that brings in the potential to see the northern lights.
It's really important for anybody who wants to do this to keep in mind the public service is the heart of everything that we do. If you're in it to serve the public, if you're in it to take care of the people in your audience and in your community, if your North Star is taking care of your people, the rest will fall into place.